It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear. And it absolutely will not stop. Ever. Until you are dead.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes. And today we're going to talk about one of the great characters that was introduced during Rebirth. I think he was actually introduced before that, but he was really reestablished. All right, Tevye, don't interrupt me in my intro, buddy. Sorry. He was reestablished in Rebirth, and I think people love that version of the character. And with me here to talk about his favorite character, Jonathan Samuel Kent, is Tevye Smolka. How you doing, Tevye?
I'm doing good, thank you. Anything about having me here on his show? It's good to be back and good talking, man.
Yes, we've been wanting to talk about Superboy, Jonathan Kent for a while, and I'm done recording all my top 5 lists so far, and it's time to talk about some Superboy. So just want to talk about some of the artists beforehand. A lot of really prominent artists have drawn the character since he was reestablished during Rebirth. Most notably like Pat Gleason, some of those guys. But to me, the definitive Jonathan Kent Superboy artist is Jimenez, man. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Who do you think is the best artist for that character?
Honestly, I think Jimenez and Pat Gleason are my favorite art of Superboy because they get to kind of get happiness and love and plus inside. I think both Pat Gleason and Jimenez are my favorite art in the Superman story and Super Sonic type of party because. Like Patty Quinn always gorgeous, Honey Man always great. Like both artwork are both great, and they know how to draw kids, and you can tell they love drawing John. It's adorable.
Yeah, that's the reason I like Jimenez is better because I think he looks more boyish, like more younger. He reminds me more of my son. That's kind of a personal thing, but I just think he exudes boyish charm when Jimenez writes him, even more so than Gleason, who does a great job.
Yeah, like both Gleason and Jimenez do great art for both John.
So we kind of talked a little bit about the art. He's been drawn by such amazing artists, but the character was reintroduced in the opening story arc of Superman, which I believe it's called Superman and Son. In the first issue, which is Patrick Gleason, there's just this wonderful shot of Superman. He's going off to take care of some business, and there's Jonathan Kent in a windowsill saying, "Superman is my dad." You can see he's head over heels in love with his father. He's very proud of him, and that one shot right there sold me on the character, and I've been in love with him ever since. What did you think about that opening story arc with Jonathan Kent and Superman?
I love that first story. That story was fantastic. One of my favorite stories in Superman Rebirth run. Next Superman Gordon Clark, that first story was excellent. It got to the innocence of John Kent. It got to his love for his father. Explained his emotion to his father. I got to deal with the way his powers. And when he first killed his cat by accident, you could tell he was heartbroken. That was sad. Like it was depressing. But. The man is finding that power. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like how the opening story arc, or I think it might be the first couple, where they kind of explore that he's not quite Kryptonian, he's not quite human. There are parts of his mom and his father that is in there that make him unique and special. But his dad is really trying to teach him how to be, a good superhero. Kind of prime him for it because he knows that he has that in him, and he's going to have those powers and. They're kind of starting to manifest themselves. Sometimes he can float on accident, if he's too happy. He's starting to get, some of his his X-ray vision, but his heat vision, kind of starting to have some accidents. I believe at one point he ends up singeing his dad's back, trying to help him out. What did you think about the way they explored the character early on and, starting to adjust to his newfound powers?
Mm-hmm. I instantly fell in love with that. It's pretty cool. You have adjusted power, kind of like go on Dragon Ball Z. And my opinion is actually pretty awesome. And the way he does it is pretty cool. And actually, to make mistakes, he actually thought about acting. Actually, he's scared. And there's a Superman said, "You're my son." And when he really actually is assuming his jacket, that's a very bad moment. I love it. And it's adorable. And when he talks to, when he talks to his father about, I want to be like you. And Superman said, "Son, it's not about you at the beginning of me. It's like, with the honoring at the legacy and keeping people at the hope at the life. I think that the Tomasi is a great passing the torch to follow the sun.
So the thing I really liked about that opening story arc is basically Clark Kent. It's kind of a different version of him. And Lois Lane, they've moved out of Metropolis because they want to give Jonathan a normal life. They want him to have some space because he's starting to learn his abilities. So they move him out because they want him to have a normal childhood. So he's they're kind of like living out in the country, and they're going to fairs and stuff like that. And Peter Tomasi was really emphasizing that they were making sure that he was getting a normal childhood, that they were doing everything they could to protect him while still understanding that, he was unique and he is special.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right. In fact, when they fight the Eradicator on the moon, that was epic. I mean, when the Eradicator showed up ready to go after John because he's a half human hybrid, which didn't exist. But the way the Eradicator go after John actually put instinct. Like when Lord get the helmet armor, it was epic. Like they go out the Eradicator and before and Sentinel to kick the Eradicator, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love that moment when you go to Fortress Soldier and you leave with the two Superman after the Fortress Soldier because they take away after the power of the Superman story when New Superman died. So technically take his Fortress Soldier and using it to help John, their son.
Yeah, because they were doing they're doing some They were doing some tests on him to, maybe see what his genome was and how it was affecting him. And I believe the Eradicator showed up. But I think when the character really took off is when they finally spun him out into his own team-up book with Damian Wayne Robin with Super Sons. And, of course, that was also written by Peter Tomasi. But I just love that team-up. I think it really solved a lot of the issues with Damian himself and really allowed Jonathan Kent, Superboy, to grow as a character and team up. And then you kind of start to see Superman and Batman kind of acknowledging, he's got a future as a superhero. I believe they end up getting their own kind of like little super team headquarters and stuff. What did you think about the beginning of Super Sons and the way that those two characters interact?
The beginning was one of my favorite issues in entire run. I love that first issue, but when they put it into Agriculture, it's not a happy relationship. Damien did kidnap John first, and then Volume 2. And yeah, Damien did not like John first, but when John actually figured out what Damien did, but dude, what the hell? I'm telling you, I'm talking. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the dynamics where the Teen Titans getting involved and they're kind of liking Jonathan Kent and Damien's trying to act like they're not friends even though they are buddies, because he's only 10 and Damien's 13.
Yeah,
they play those jokes up a lot, and I just think it really adds to the character and of the relationship between the two young kids.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. Right there, which is awesome, and it was just adorable and amazing. I love the name from John and Damien. They chemistry is great, it's adorable, it's awesome. And I want to figure out the part in Super Sun, and we get to see them as the team at the fight at the planet and another dimension. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
The entire Super Sun one of them fantastic, one of the best story out in DC period. I love this team. It's great. It's awesome, and it's one of my favorite stories of all time. It's such a great team. And they're amazing. When you meet Teen Titans, it's adorable. It's awesome. When John meets Teen Titans, it's awesome.
So is there a favorite issue that you have of that original run of Super Sons that was ended far too short?
Honestly, my favorite issue out of all these is Super Son issue number, I think, 10, 11, and 12. When you see John actually learn how to fly. It's pretty cool. And when you see John and then have to get the headquarters. But my other favorite story is the Super Son Tomorrow crossover. With evil future Tim Drake go back to the past, try to kill John, kind of Terminator style. And
that's Tim Drake, right?
Yeah, evil Tim Drake from the future. Tiny tomorrow future. When that comes that, awesome.
I really, like I said before, I like how Tomasi was so intent on keeping the character grounded. Even though he does have the superpowers. I remember there's this great scene where Superboy and Robin are basically at the Kent household, and Superman's about to have to take off, and Superman's like, hey, make sure you hit those, you get to those dishes, while I'm gone. And Robin's like, I don't do dishes. And he's like, you do in this house, son. It's just like, such a good joke. It's just
funny.
When you've been to your friend's house and their parents have different rules, the next thing you know, you're like cleaning stuff. Like, I don't know if they do this at my house, but I guess, different rules under this house. And it just felt so true to life. And like I said, just really was keeping both the characters grounded and just taking so much of that weird edge off of Damian, because of the character origins for him. He's, I don't want to call him psychopathic, but he's not a normal 13-year-old. And I think that's really what Tomasi was doing with the character was really taking some of those rough edges off by putting him with Jonathan Kent and really growing him by making him more like a child than, like a know-it-all.
Yeah. I agree 100%. Like, Tomasi might have made Damian out there a lot more likable, because I like other writers who try to make Damian like kind of like not psychopathic, more like arrogant, egotistical, and kind of a jerk. Tomasi had to make Damian a ground level and give him a best friend that he needs, because without John and like Damian would go off the hinges, just go pretty nuts, like in Batman Beyond, like some other features.
Well, yeah, in Teen Titans, he's imprisoning people underneath their thing without telling the rest of the team and stuff like that.
That's
one of the real huge losses when they finally canceled the Super Sons series and Brian Bendis took over Superman. Is they took away that relationship and this ability to really redefine Damian while you were at it. What did you think about when you found out Bendis was coming on Superman and Super Sons was essentially going to be over?
I was pissed because you took away my favorite team in Super Sons. I was mad. I did a rant video on my channel, and what the hell? Why the hell you take John away from Super Sons? You took my favorite and you canceled it to get Bendis? Why? That didn't make any sense. Like, why not keep Super Sons alive and kicking? If you want Bendis to do his own stuff, fine. But keep him away from John. That was my main concern with Bendis. I knew something was going to be Bendis after he took away from John, and I was pissed because you took away a great series, you were one of the best series out of DC, and you canceled it, not because it was sailed, you're going to Bendis. What?
Yeah, so he's done some really weird stuff with, the family dynamics, but specifically, I think what he did with Jonathan Kent is probably the worst, where he basically sends him off into space with his psychotic grandpa and his mom, but his mom goes back to home early, like any mother would just leave their 10-year-old in space, even if he did have superpowers. But then, he has to escape his grandpa, but ends up on an alternate dimension where he's stuck in a volcano and he's basically being tortured for 6 or 7 years by evil versions of his mom and dad. They look exactly like her. And it was just the strangest thing for any writer to ever do to a 10-year-old character, especially one that was so beloved by the DC readership. What did you think about the way he aged him up? Because he basically had him tortured.
Yeah, I hate that. That made me mad because what the hell? Like, what are you doing, Bennett? You took away the 10-year-old kid who had to learn how to be a great hero, who's on his mind to his dad, and then you said Mr. Oz come back from the day. But that didn't make any sense. Mr. Oz, the Oz effect, the Dr. Man took him away back to his own time. That's what I assume. But no, that Man still happened. He came back. How did he come back? Never explained, and we never got an answer. Oh, speak of beer. The minute Bennett aged him up, I was infuriated because what? You took away this 10-year-old kid, this 10-year-old child, and you put him in a spaceship with mother who left him behind, not because of his own safety, no, because she freaking hurt. What? That's a Lois Lane. Lois Lane was a badass who would really protect her own son at the from this monster. And she leaves him because reason? What? Oh, they're not picking on the crime syndicate. Why the person they're alive? That didn't make sense. At the end of Rebirth, at the end of Dr. Manhattan, Dr. Manhattan, he killed the crime syndicate. The crime syndicate should be dead. They should not be alive. How are they alive? It doesn't make sense. And John get tortured for 7 years in that volcano with no psychological damage? Bullshit. That makes no sense. There's no way in heck he's with psychological damage from the crime syndicate. If I was John, I'd be freaking out. Anyone freaking out. It doesn't make sense. Like, oh, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating. It seems like he did that because he was Bendis knew he was going to be relaunching Legion of Superheroes, and he didn't want a 10-year-old Jonathan Kent, be a part of the team rather than maybe going in and having him join, 7 years in the future, or even taking Connor Kent and having him join.
Mm-hmm.
He did this weird thing where he basically gets tortured to age up to join the Legion of Superheroes. What have you thought about Brian Bendis' Legion of Superheroes since Jonathan Kent joined the team and basically went to the 31st century?
This picture are so stupid because it doesn't make sense. It proved my point that John's not being really superhero. But if Benny was smart, and I think he's smart, like, I would have done it. If you want to have age of John, here's the why not have the go back in time, go back John at the future timeline where he's older. If you want to have the future John to go do receiver, fine. I went all for it. But don't take all John from the past, who's a 10-year-old kid who got aged up and tortured by the crime syndicate, who should be secondarily damaged from a volcano and tortured and almost killed by Ogozar, which the Ogozar story don't point out a way to story. I would have brought that crap. I went nowhere. And it just doesn't add up. Oh boy, by issue 2, it was Damon Winger doing really super well. John can take Damien away from the past and take it to the future. So I'm gonna straight. You destroy Super Sons. You age up John, and now get Damien Wayne back after the really superheroes. You're gonna have Damien Wayne join John with the really superheroes. Why can't we have done that in the first place? Why can't we have a John pretending to go to the superheroes? We're not about that. John actually stay in the past. Have Connor join the really superheroes. Well, how about wait? Have Connor and John both we just join the really superheroes? I just don't like it. It just forced. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just bad.
Yeah, so there was an outcry among Super Sons fans and Superman fans that why are we losing this series? So DC did allow Peter Tomasi along with Carlo Barberi to go back and create Adventures of the Super Sons, but it's a prequel story. There's no moving beyond what was completed in the Super Sons. But what did you think about Adventures of the Super Sons and what Peter J. Tomasi and Barberi were able to do with the characters, in a prequel and just to give us a new story?
I really love Adventures of the Super Sons. I think Adventures of it was fantastic. I love that story. It was a great story magazine, and the way he started out to be cool, the alien, the gang, go out to the Super Sons, be cool, left Kryptonite, split giant, red and blue. That was funny. I don't know how to get red and blue John Daniels saying each other. It's funny. It's such a great series, and I love that series. Fantastic. It's tons of fun. It breaks my heart that this is the end of Super Sons. A 12-issue magazine. It ends sad, but it ends with more stories to come. I want to see more of that future with Old Man John, Old Man Damien. That's adorable, but we're not gonna get that because Bendis wants to do his own thing. But fine, but it just breaks my heart that we're not getting more Avengers Super Sons. It's such a great series. I love that series. It was tons of fun. The Western Planet with Robot John and Hex. That was funny. That was awesome. Hey, we got new Green Lantern character. Not Teen Lantern. No, Nuclear Lantern is actually a lot more interesting. He's a cadet. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice to have a non-human lantern introduced. It seems like it's been forever since an actual non-human lantern actually got some screen time that wasn't a Killmonger or somebody established. Yeah, so I'll agree with that one. I enjoyed that as well.
Yeah, it's such a great series. I love it. I wish we had more of that series because you can see Super Sons just saying a lot more stuff with John going to school, which is pretty cool. There's summer vacation, pretty cool. Trying to say everything up for a great Super Sons series that will continue activating Super Sons. And I was convinced that we would get more Super Sons. We kind of did in DC Inc. or DC Zoom, which is a kid's Super Sons book, and an Elseworld story. By the way, the other story, it's weird. It doesn't make sense, Super Sons. They changed the name to Ian Wayne. Weird, I know. It's an Elseworld story, though.
We're gonna ignore that one. That's not the Super Sons that we love. So I think we've kind of covered the gamut of the character, since Rebirth and what's happened with him. Do you have any final thoughts on Jonathan Kent before we sign off here?
Yeah, I'm a fan. My father didn't know John saying this. I love his character. I grew up his character. This character is such a great in Superman family. He's adorable. He's always badass. And my personal opinion, he's my own favorite character in DC. Like period. He like Wally West, like before Hero and Credit nonsense. And both John and Wally West both big characters. And I was begging DC to get to give me more Super Saiyan and Super Team John Justice. I would be all for that. But no, instead of doing that, we get the exact opposite. It breaks my heart that we're not going to get more 10-year-old John Kent. It hurts me more that I can get more of an awesome character in more 10-year-old Bendis. But I am praying to God when Bendis reads the title that there's some way that de-age John back to 10-year-old self. Now, we get the memories? No. I want the memory to be, I want John to be a 10-year-old self, a 10-year-old kid, and be actually the kid I knew of from Rebirth. After Teen John, he can go away for all I care. He can just be erased for existence.
Well, very well said, Tebby. Thank you so much for joining the channel today and talking about your favorite character, Jonathan Samuel Kent, Superboy. And I'll talk to you later, my friend.
All right, see ya.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.